Hopefully you all aren't holiday paletted out just yet in September. Because today I have the Light of the Party set that Tarte produced for Sephora for the holiday season, and this was $59 and I purchased it on the Sephora website. This is the outside packaging that it comes in, and I also have the blush palette that came out as well. All the color that's on my face right now, both bronzer, highlighter, blush, and eyeshadow, is from this Light of the Party set. However, I'm going to dip into the blush palette and swatch that for you guys real quick before I dive into the big one. So this is called the Bling It On Amazonian Clay Blush Palette, and this was $44. I also purchased this off of the Sephora website, and inside of here you have got 5 blushes, and they are 0.15 ounces a piece, and a full-size Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush is 0.20 ounces a piece, so you're getting a pretty hefty amount of product in here considering there's 5 of them for $44, and I think what $25 for a full-size single blush, I think. I could be wrong. The packaging on this has got like a fabric glitter feel to it, and a lot of the glitters have been falling off already. Like I've got them on my hand just now from picking it up, so I don't know how well this is going to wear. But inside of here, which Tarte does have a mirror on top, and they did print the names on the actual palette. There's no plastic sleeve. You've got Fetching, Dollface, which I know Dollface is in the permanent line, Prim, Smashing, and Beaming. And I don't have Fetching, Prim, Smashing, or Beaming, but I do have Dollface in the full-size form. I'll go ahead and swatch these for you. These next two. This top one is the new Bling It On palette, and then this bottom one is a previous holiday palette, and it was called the it was called Pinup Girl. So there's what those look like in comparison. And there aren't any repeats between these two. And then the top one here is this year's, and the bottom one is the Off the Cuff palette. I think that was last year's. This one does have a repeat shade. This is Dollface right here, and this is Dollface. So this is the Off the Cuff palette. And then here is the new one called Bling It On. So there is one repeat shade between the two of those. Getting into the Light of the Party set, this is the casing that it comes in, and it's a pretty good size case. It's wide and it's pretty large. It's got some sequin printed fabric on the cover that's kind of got a little bit of a squishiness to it, and then it's got a zipper closure around here like so, and mine is already open. And then inside of here you have got a smaller palette that fits up here and is removable. You've got a double-ended brush, which this is actually a nice synthetic brush. It's got like a little chubby pencil blender type, and then a fluffier blender on the other side. And then you've got a deluxe size sample of the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara, which, is it that one? Lights Camera Lashes Mascara, which that is a nice mascara from Tarte. And then housed on the bottom portion of the palette, there are 24 eyeshadows, and each eyeshadow is 0.024 ounces a piece, so they're quite small. And for the eye look that I did today, I did use all the shadows on this bottom portion of the palette, and I used, from the crease upwards, I used all mattes. I think I used 4 of them in total. I used Cocoa What Fun, Come What Gray, Party Favored, and What a Wonderful Pearl. And I've been kind of hit or miss with Tarte's matte eyeshadows in the past, like the, was it called the Matnificent palette? The all matte, the Tarte Light palette. I was real hit or miss with that one. I did a look that I liked, I did one that was okay, and I did one that I just did not like. They don't blend that nice for me, those matte eyeshadows in that palette. So I was a little leery about these guys here, but these really blended nice. And then I used Ring-a-Ling on the lid, which is like a pretty shiny taupe shade, and a tiny bit of Fizz the Season in this inner portion, and everything blended really well. It was really easy to create the look. Now, I can tell you that I used this dark shade right down here, and just based off of how this look came out, I can tell that there isn't anything shadow-wise in this larger portion that's really too vibrant of an eyeshadow. So I think that if you're a neutral lover who doesn't like too much pizzazz in their neutrals, you'll really like this. There isn't a lot of, what's the word? I'm looking for a word here. They're quite subdued eyeshadows, and I also found that there aren't a ton of super unique shades in here. Now, one thing about this whole set here that I really, really dislike is this big portion of eyeshadows is fixed inside of this case. It doesn't pop out. It doesn't have a cover that goes over it. And I can't even pull like the piece out. I think I'm going to have to like rip some glue off if I were to do that. It is fixed inside of this, so it's not really travel friendly. I think that they really should have put these larger shadows in the same type of packaging as this so that we could pull it out of the palette, because this is a large situation right here. I really, really wish that they would have put that in a separate palette with a cover on it. However, they did print the names on the inside, so here's the small palette that comes inside of the set. Inside of here you have got a blush at 0.20 ounces, a highlighter that's 0.15 ounces, and the bronzer is 0.2 ounces, and the shadows in here are also 0.024 ounces a piece. And I do have this highlighter on, which it's light enough for me, but it could be a little bit brighter in terms of pigmentation on the tops of my cheeks, but it's a nice shade. And then you've got Amazed, which is the blush I have on, and Social Butterfly, which I used as a bronzer, and these all blended really, really well for me. And then over here you've got Popcorn Stand, Wrapped Up, which both these two shadows are matte. Then you've got Dancer and Prancer, Shining Star, You'll Be Surprised, which is a matte, and Mulberry and Bright, which has got a little bit of sparkles in there. Let's swatch this guy. That guy. Whoop. And then the highlighter called Pink Champagne. Now we'll do these eyeshadows. Now onto the bigger portion of the eyeshadow. You've got Sugar Cookie, In a Flurry, Fizz the Season, It's Snow Time, Eggnog, which is a matte, What a Wonderful Pearl, which is a matte, Miracle of Light, Rum Pum Plum, which is a matte, Tartini, which is a matte, Baby It's Gold Outside, Peach on Earth, which is a matte, Come Wet Gray, which is a matte, Under the Mistletoe, Ring-a-Ling, Fireside Chat, Party Favored, which is a matte, Gingerbread Mansion, Chrome for the Holidays, and then this whole bottom row is matte. You've got Sleigh Watch, Mulled Wine, Cocoa What Fun, Black Velvet, Hot Chocolate, and Midnight Kiss. So we'll go ahead and swatch this row. It should be on the right side. Then the next one. Then down to this warmer row. And the very last row. I think that the look came out nice. Something to keep in mind is I think that all of the shadows in here are going to be a real soft neutral type of looks. I mean, I'm sure you could build some up with these, you know, darker shades down here, but even when I blended out this deeper cocoa shade, it ended up looking soft. It looks like a really soft look. So if you like really soft, neutral, wearable looks, I think you'll love this. There's a ton of products in here for a really good price. But I am slightly crying inside that this here does not remove, because this thing is huge, and I really wish that it had a cover and was like this guy up here. But now if you want to see these products in action, you can hang tight and we will get into it right now. On a Hakuhodo J511 brush, I'm going to go into the Pink Champagne highlighter in the smaller palette. And I'm going to use that to highlight. I'm going to put it on the tops of my cheeks. A little bit right there. I'm going to use a Goss 13 brush and dip it into Social Butterfly, which is like the bronzer type shade. And I'm going to bronze up and slightly contour my face with this. Then on a Goss 14 brush, I'm going to dip into the Amazed blush in the palette. Put that on my cheeks. Now I'm going to finish off the face with a Chikuhodo MK3 brush and the Guerlain Meteorite Pearls in the shade Claire. And I just swirl my brush in there and dust this and buff it all over the face. I prime my lids from the lash line to up underneath the brow with the NYX eyeshadow bases in number 1 and number 3. On a Goss 18 brush, which is a flat shader, I'm going to go into the shade Ring-a-Ling. And I'm going to back this on the lid. On that same brush on the side, I'm going to go into Fizz the Season. And I'm going to put that right in front of the Ring-a-Ling shade. And then turn it sideways and blend them. Now I'm going to use all mattes from here on out, because I'm hit or miss with Tarte matte eyeshadows, so I want to see if these are going to blend together nicely for me or not. And I'm going to go into the shade Cocoa What Fun, which is a matte. And I'm going to do that on a GS 9 brush. I'm going to put that in the outer lid, outer corner, and V it upwards. I did get a bit of fallout with that shade. On a Hakuhodo J5523 brush, I'm going to start blending out the Cocoa What Fun shade with Party Favored, which is, it's like a medium toned grayish brown, which is also matte. So I'm just going to start up in here. Really nice. These feel different to me than like the Tarte Magnificent or whatever. These feel nice. Then on a Goss number 3 brush, I'm going to go into the shade What a Wonderful Pearl, which is like a pink creamy matte color. And I'm going to put that under my brow for a highlight. That one's a little bit dusty. And lastly, on a Tom Ford 13 brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Come What Gray, which is right there. It's also a matte color. And I'm going to just feather this up here. So here's the eyeshadow done. I'm going to go ahead and put on some brows, mascara, and liner, and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. For the lips, I've got the Clinique Quick Liner for lips in the shade Sky Violet. I'm just going to go ahead and line them. And then the lipstick is a Maybelline matte lipstick, and it's in the shade 682 Blushing Pout. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my lips with this guy. So there's the overall finished look using the Tarte and Sephora Light of the Party Holiday 2015 set. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.